What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Hope everyone's Saturday has been fantastic. You guys already know what time it is, baby. Time for some live Week 8 fantasy Q&A. So hop in live chat, man. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing Saturday night. We always have some great Saturday night vibes. Let me know what you guys need. Man, start, sits, ads, drops, roster confidence, roster non-confidence. Week 8 of the 2022 NFL football season is less than 24 hours away. We got a lot to get into tonight. We got a lot to go over. A couple injury updates. Nothing too crazy, to be honest with you guys, but, you know, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk some fantasy football. So hop on in here, man. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing. And let's hop right into it tonight, man. So hit that like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you are new to the channel. All right. Broncos Jaguars will kick off at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. We got a London matchup tomorrow morning. Russell Wilson will be playing in this game. That's about it, man. Do I like this matchup? Not particularly, but I do think that in a lot of these London matchups, a lot of things go out the window, including defense at times. So this game could start a little ugly, could get a little out of hand. Russell Wilson starting, so I think that does improve Cortland Sutton's status, in terms of a PPR start. Like, I think Sutton's completely fine. So yeah, we got a London game tomorrow. Don't forget to check, guys. Broncos, Jags, check your lineups. I don't like a lot of the Jags offensive starters. I think Christian Kirk, who primarily comes out of the slot, could be okay in this game because he's not going to theoretically see Pat Surtain as much. But this Broncos defensive unit is really good overall against the pass game. So I'd be a little bit wary. But I think Travis Etienne's probably the only player I'm really wanting to take a risk on. Evan Ingram's okay. I don't like Trevor Lawrence tomorrow. I don't like Zay Jones. I don't know. I would really only have confidence in Travis Etienne tomorrow. I don't love the Broncos starters either, outside of maybe Greg Dulcich and Cortland Sutton, full PPR. So we'll see how that one goes. But like I said, these London games, in my opinion, are very comparable to Thursday Night Football, where things could just go completely out the window. So Debo's ruled out. We already knew that. We went over that last night. So that's about it, man. Everything else we basically have touched on. So Malik Willis will be the starter tomorrow for the Titans. So we're going to see Malik Willis in his first debut against the Houston Texans. Ryan Tannehill will not be playing. So that should be exciting. And I do actually think that Malik Willis could have a decent game. I'm not saying go out and pick up Malik Willis, unless you play in a super flex league, a double quarterback league, something like that, and you're really desperate this week. But overall, the Texans have been really bad against the run. We know that Malik Willis has some rushing upside. So, could be some, decent games in the future. But I want to see it happen before we make any moves there. But Malik Willis will be the starter tomorrow. It's kind of exciting. I think it makes that game 10 times more exciting overall. So I think Derrick Henry's gonna have a monster game. So all right, guys, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know what you guys need. Let's talk some fantasy football, baby. All right, Prey, what's good, man? I was not late. It's 30 seconds late. Richard, what's up, man? What's up, Richard Glass? What's up, man? Grant in the house, what's up? All right, man. Sutton, McLaurin, or Pittman. Pick one as wide receiver 2. I'd probably go Sutton. McLaurin's got the toughest matchup out of the 3. And then Pittman has the best matchup, but he's got Sam Ehlinger throwing him the football. So I'm I don't really know what that's going to look like. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably go Sutton, and I don't like it. Don't like it, Grant. I think Sutton's the safest floor. Pittman brings some upside, but Pittman also brings some risk. Ain't no one waking up for the Broncos-Jags game. Maybe. You think Henry breaks 100? He should, Justin. He should. There's no reason why he shouldn't against the Texans. The only way I could see is if, the Titans get up ahead and I don't know, they pull Henry at some point, but there's really no reason why Henry should not have a 100-yard game tomorrow. Sport Dog was good. What's up, man? Let's make tomorrow a winner. Let's get it. Let's go. Albert, what's up, man? Grail Collect in the house. What's up, man? Gabe Davis or Mostart, Carr, Stafford? Honestly, I go Mostart against the Lions. I love Mostart this week. Gabe Davis still a great start, though, but I go Mostart. Carr, Stafford, I go Carr. Yeah, I'm not starting Stafford right now. Brandon Ayuk, Randall Robinson, or Jacoby? I kind of like Randall Robinson, but Ayuk's okay, too. I just wonder how much Jalen Ramsey's going to see Ayuk in this matchup. You know, if Debo was playing, it would be Ayuk, like, straight up, but he's not playing. So, you know, most of the defensive pressure against the pass, I guess the receiving room is going to be on Ayuk, undoubtedly. So, I don't mind Ayuk. I don't like Jacoby, but Jacoby's going to have Sauce Gardner on him all day, so I'm not a fan of Jacoby Myers this weekend. I'm not. I think Robinson for a safe floor, Ayuk for upside. Most starter ETN in full PPR. Shoot. I like both, but honestly, I go Mostart. I like Mostart a lot this weekend, Albert, but both are fine, man. You can't really go wrong there. Andrew, what's going on? Hello, hello. Appreciate you guys being here. Diego, would you look at my lineup in Discord? For sure, bro. For sure. Let me take a look. Guys, it's Halloween weekend. You guys doing anything fun? Any big plans for you guys? Let me know. Let me know. I'm not going. Oh, yeah. I won't talk. Well, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning, but and I'll be on probably Monday night as well. But I won't talk to you guys really before Halloween. So let me know what you guys are doing. Let me know what candy you're eating. All right, let's take a look. Diego. Okay, let's see. We got Burrow, Purist, Walker, Diggs, Ayuk, Ertz, Stevenson, Carlson, the Eagles defense, Singletary, Metcalf on the bench. Wow, Chase is out for you and Metcalf, and then Randall Robinson. Yeah, I think this lineup's perfectly fine. I think you go with Ayuk because he brings some nice upside. I think you can afford it as well because you've got Diggs as your wide receiver 1, and your running backs are ridiculous. Pierce, Walker, and Stevenson. Ertz against Minnesota is a fantastic matchup. Burrow's going to have a great game. Daniel Carlson and the Eagles defense. Yeah, I think you leave this matchup, this lineup, just how it is. I can't believe you're 2-5, dude. I really can't. I can't believe you're projected to lose either. I mean, you're facing a pretty good team. That's a pretty good squad you're going up against. But still, I just feel like your team is better. So I would leave it how it is, Diego. I think it's a great lineup for the week, my guy. Cheeseburger Eddie in the house. What's up, man? Malik Willis season. We'll see. We'll see. I think it'd be fun to see, man. You know? All right, Sport Dog John. I put Rondale Moore in for Cooks, but they will announce that Cooks will be in or out even though he's healthy. Yeah, so let's take a look here. Still questionable. Still questionable. It's probably a game time decision. It's a 1 o'clock game. Or excuse me, no, it's not. It's a 4:05 game. It's kind of risky, man. Plus, there are a lot of trade rumors circling around Brandon Cooks' name right now. So, it is possible he doesn't see a lot of playing time, or if he is, quote-unquote, questionable, that he sits because they're trying to trade him. So, I think you go Rondale Moore. Michael Pittman or Damian Pierce? I go Damian Pierce, personally, Andrea. I mean, I really, regardless of scoring format, I'm probably starting Damian Pierce in that scenario. But also, listen, let me know, chat. Like, am I panicking too much about the Colts receivers this weekend? Because they have a really good matchup. I mean, it's a great matchup against Washington. But I just don't know what it's going to look like with Sam Ehlinger at quarterback. So I'm a little bit worried. Do you guys think that's an overreaction? Smokey the Cat, what's up, man? Do I take an L this week? I don't have a defense and kicker. Don't know if I should drop someone. Madison, Herbert, Gallup, Robinson, or A.J. Dillon. Had to stream quarterback and tight end this week. You know, Smokey, depends on your record, but I probably wouldn't. And If I'm dropping anyone, it's probably Allen Robinson and A.J. Dillon. I mean, you got two really solid handcuffs in Madison and Herbert, you know? I mean, you could argue Allen Robinson over Gallup, but I'd be dropping one of those two and dropping A.J. Dillon, and I'd pick up the best kicker defense and go for a dub, my guy. Do we replace Andrews next week in week 10? So I think he might be good to go. I truthfully think that Mark Andrews could be good to go. You know, it's a long week for them, and they get a bye week. So, well, I guess your question, right, is because they don't play till Monday night, right? So, I mean, go if you own Mark Andrews, just try. I mean, Isaiah likely is going to be a high target on the waivers, but try and put in a waiver for him. You know, if you pick him up, then your problem's solved. Well, but not for week 10, I guess, because they're on bye week in week 10. It's tough, man. If Greg Dulcich is out there, I like Greg D. But aren't the Broncos... Wow. Broncos are on bye in week 9, so he's not a great option. That's tough, man. I mean, he could go Isaiah Likely in week 9 and Greg Dulcich in week 10, but that's kind of wishful thinking because they're kind of the two hot names in terms of waiver wire tight ends, you know, at the moment. So, depends on who is out there. Let me know who's out there for you, man. All right, Penguin Master was good, bro. Got offered D-Hop and Najee for Debo and Mostart. Should I take it? I have Kyler. I mean, I'd rather have D-Hop than Debo, probably. I mean, I like Debo a lot, but especially if you have the stack. But I'd probably rather have Mostart than Najee, to be honest. So, I'm not completely against it. I'm not. It's close between D-Hop and Debo. But with the injury popping up for Debo, a little skeptical. But outside of that, in terms of Debo, like the one big game against the Rams in week 4, 23.7 points in full PPR. 16 points in week 6 against Atlanta. And while he's been very consistent, he's still giving you 13.7 or less points in every other matchup this year. Which brings him in as wide receiver 13 in full PPR. Don't get me wrong, he's still a top 15 receiver, but it's not like we've seen a lot of those high ceilings this year. So I do think that Hopkins could bring a little bit more upside overall to your roster, and I think that Mostart does the same over Najee. So I would definitely consider it. How do you feel about Kittle versus Ertz? Ertz is your safe floor lane, and Kittle offers some upside. So I would probably go Ertz personally. I like to play a little bit safe. It kind of bites me in the ass sometimes, but Ertz has a really good matchup too. Really good matchup this week against the Seahawks. Excuse me, I'm on week 9. I had scrolled down too far from looking ahead for streaming options at tight end. I was like, that's not right. He gets the Vikings. I'd probably go Ertz. For Halloween, I'm going to John's house to look in this window. Jesus Christ, break. 8-man PPR. Running backs are Jacobs, JT, Kenneth Walker. Wide receivers are CD, Olave, and Kittle. Bench is Swift, Etienne, Keenan. Would it be worth it trading JT for Jefferson? What running backs do you like this week? 3 and 4 on the comeback, since most of this roster is hurt turn now. Do you think this is the optimal lineup? Thanks for your time. Of course, bro. Of course. I mean, your running backs are stacked, bro. And that's the thing with the 8-man league. It's like, if you're not making the right calls on a weekly basis, then you're kind of in a tough position. So, it's tough playing the 8-man. So, I will say with CD, who's not bringing incredibly high ceilings, it's probably worth thinking about. Because then, just assuming you're playing a double running back, double receiver, one flex league, you're starting Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, and probably Olave and Justin Jefferson at that point, right? And then flexing CeeDee Lamb, Swift, or ETN. So I don't think it hurts your roster. And like I think you already have a good enough ceiling at running back. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. Like JT could pop off and get back to what he was doing last year in no time. You know what I'm saying? So a little bit of risk associated there, but it does kind of look like he's kind of fizzling in the middle somewhere, and that offense as a whole is like, I don't know, man. So I'm all for JT, but at the same time, like, I think bringing Justin Jefferson to this roster is totally worth it. What running backs are like this week, man, dude. When I made the start and sit video for running back this week, guys, the running back position is like everyone was a start. Seriously, like I'm a little bit worried about Montgomery this week against the Cowboys, you know, because they're the best team in the league against opposing running backs. But like, seriously, I think everyone. Aaron Jones has kind of a capped ceiling against Buffalo, but I'm not exaggerating. Like, I like everyone this week. Darrell Henderson against the Niners isn't great, but there are a lot of good matchups this week, and really the running back position is just playing at a really high level right now. I feel like last year we were getting way better play out of the receiver position. A lot of injuries at the running back position. I think the injuries have actually not been as bad this year overall, but also like not more dominant in either position. But overall, we're just getting really good running back play, and a little bit outside of like your top 8 receivers, maybe you're not getting crazy play out of the receiver position, you know. So yeah, I mean, let me know like if there's specific running backs you're considering, but I do think in terms of your lineup, Jacobs, JT, and K9 at the moment are the running backs to start. I like ETN and I like Swift, but I would start those 3 before the other 3. So, or other 2, I should say. I'm sorry. All right, hey PPR flex, we going Devonta Smith or Swift in his first game back. You know, quite frankly, I mean, I like both, guys. I'm not out on Swift this week. I'm not out on Swift at all by any means. I mean, I still believe in DeAndre Swift, but I gotta go Devonta Smith. Call me crazy, man. I love this matchup for the Eagles receivers. I really do. This is one of those calls I'm making this week. Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown against the Steelers secondary is ridiculous, in my opinion. But Swift's probably going to have a pretty good game against Miami. Where does... let me check where Miami comes in overall against the position. I don't know. I could see that game getting out of hand, and I could see Miami actually playing a really good football game. Yeah, Miami isn't too bad against the position. Let's see here. So they're 13th in the league. It's not bad at all. I'm telling you, Pittsburgh's awful against the receiver position. One of the worst in the league. I will go Devonta Smith. I'll put it this way. Safe floor is maybe Swift. Upside it lies with Devonta Smith. I will go Devonta Smith. How do we send you our lineup? Just join the Discord. Link is in the description down below. And just let me know in the chat. I can pull it up on Discord. Say most people probably, there's a thread in there called Fantasy Talk. That's where most people probably send it. Completely free to join the Discord as well. I don't gain any benefit from that. It's really just easiest way to communicate with you guys and communicate with everyone as a whole, you know, especially when we're not streaming. Ash, what's going on? Drop Schultz for AJ Dillon if I have Higbee. What's good, Stober? You could. I mean, I think Dillon is straight up handcuff right now, unless I miss something, because that's the second AJ Dillon. Yeah, okay, I'm not missing anything. And he gets Buffalo this week. They do get Detroit next week. Should be a good week for the Packers running backs, but then they get Dallas. They get Tennessee, it's decent, then they get Philly. Yeah, the Packers just have an up and down upcoming schedule, man. But yeah, I consider Dillon a handcuff, so if you're good with that, man, then that's fine. Should I drop Damian Harris or Curtis Samuel and pick up Patterson? What's up, Mike? It depends, Mike. Do you need a running back or a receiver more after you acquire Patterson? You know, what do you need more in terms of depth? 2 running backs or a running back and a receiver? You know, personally, I would probably want to keep Harris and Patterson, but it depends. If you need that additional receiver in Samuel, then you can keep him, you know. Debating on dropping Jameson Williams to pick up Deshaun Watson. Also, should I drop Alec Pierce for Campbell? I think it's fine to drop. I mean, J-Mo's probably not going to play for like another month, is what Dan Campbell said this past week. So, like, he's a true stash on your IR at the moment. You know, if you can put Watson on your IR, then I think it's completely fine. It's not hurting your roster. So, should I drop Pierce for Campbell? You can. Listen, a big aspect of Paris Campbell's productivity, I'm not like down on him as a player by any means, but a big aspect of his productivity was the chemistry between him and Matt Ryan. So like I'm really torn on these Colts receivers because they all have value, right? Michael Pittman obviously has value as a wide receiver one, even if he's had some down games on the year. Alec Pierce, I mean, I was all on the Alec Pierce trade for a couple of weeks there. And so obviously, especially in full PPR, Pierce has some value. And then Paris Campbell over the last 2 weeks has at least 18 fantasy points. So, you know, they all have value, but who are going to be the guys for Sam Ehlinger? It could be all three of them. So I would just say if you're going to hold a Colts receiver, go for the one you have the most conviction in. But we truly won't know until we get a sample size with Sam Ehlinger, a quarterback, you know. But they're all talented, so. Let's see. Yeah, Diego, that team is crazy, man. Caleb, what's up, man? Who wins this trade in Dynasty? I would give him McCole Hardman and Mac Hollins for Garrett Wilson. Honestly, I'm not that crazy about Mac Hollins, so I feel like it's pretty even. If you need a free roster spot, I'd probably go the Garrett Wilson side. If not, I'd probably keep McCole Hardman. Ooh, it's tough. I might keep McCole Hardman there. Let's see. Van Jefferson, Renfro, Randall Robinson, Myers, Deontay Johnson, Curtis Hammer, Green Bay receiver. Standard scoring, pick one. So really, when you're looking at standard, you want to think about who has the best chance to score. And I would go Randall Robinson against Seattle or Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel, I don't mind here out of the options and in a standard scoring format. Renfro against the Saints, nah, it's just too risky. Just too risky with how he's played so far on the year. Man, I miss Renfro. But if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be like the first week where Renfro, Adams, Waller could all be healthy. But they all came into the week unhealthy, so I don't know. Does that even matter? Hell if I know, man. Van Jefferson's kind of sneaky, but let's see what happens first. Typically, I'd like Jacoby Myers, but I don't like him against Sauce Gardner. Not at all, man. And Deontay against the Bills, not very intriguing. So I go Curtis Samuel or Randall Robinson. And quite frankly, in standard, I might go Curtis Samuel. Alex, pick one flex. Etienne Stevenson, Eno in the standard league. I'd probably go Eno Benjamin against the Vikings. I think he's going to have a good game. Vikings run defense has been really bad. They're all good options. I mean, gosh. They're all good options, man. You really can't go wrong here. They're all going to have good games. Safest bet to score a touchdown? Call me crazy. I'll go Eno Benjamin. Stevenson has been a beast, though. And Etienne's going to see a lot more volume now. DJ Moore, Gabe Davis. I go DJ Moore for a safe floor and Gabe Davis for upside. I think DJ Moore's going to have a good game. Falcons are the worst team in the league right now against opposing receivers. You know? So I might actually go. And AJ Terrell's hurt. He's out versus the Panthers. Like, it's not good. Well, for the Falcons. For a DJ Moore owner, that's good. DJ Moore for a safe floor. Gabe Davis for upside with some boomer bust. I might go DJ Moore this week, to be honest. But that Pittsburgh, no, I mean not Pittsburgh, excuse me. That Green Bay secondary is not awful. They're not great. So I might go DJ Moore there. Eno or Foreman in full PPR. I go Eno. Pick one, Deontay Johnson, Randall, Standard League. I go Randall Robinson. I think he's got a better chance at scoring than Deontay against the Bills. Why do I keep saying that? The Steelers are playing the Eagles. Why do I keep saying that? But it's the same concept. Got a better chance of scoring than Deontay Johnson against Steelers. Jeez. Should I start Foreman or Samuel in the flex full PPR? Probably Foreman. Greggy D or Will Disley? I go Greg Dulcich. Too much risk with Disley. He's got a good matchup, but just too much risk. Space Ghost trying to make moves to be playoff scary. I offer Kareem and Waddle for JJ and Kirk for Chase. Still have D-Hop and St. Brown stacked at RB. Go make the moves, man. But Waddle's my guy. But hey, I can't talk down on JJ. It's not a bad trade for JJ. Gabe Davis or Pittman this week, full PPR. I'd probably go Gabe Davis, but Pittman could bring a good matchup, could bring a pretty safe floor. All right, V, that's my thoughts on waivers. Gesicki, Smith Jr., Knox, Johnson, Ingram, and Dulcich. I'd probably go after Dulcich. You know, I like Gesicki and Irv Smith this week, but I'm not quite so sure about next week. Do you think Tampa Bay's defense is droppable? I absolutely do. I've dropped them myself. I dropped them before Thursday night as well. So I don't really have the confidence right now. And they just lost Shaq Barrett. I don't know, man. I don't feel great about them. Maybe based up on matchup on a weekly basis. That's one thing. But overall, and if they get the Rams next week, not an awful start there. And the Seahawks, I just don't have faith in them from fantasy perspective at the moment. Richie, what's good, bro? Current tight ends are Pitts and Njoku. Greg D and Irv need to drop 2. I dropped Pitts. That's tough. Oh, that's tough, man. I guess Njoku can't be put on IR, huh? Depends on your league, but probably not because he's just listed as out. If you drop Njoku, he'll get picked up, man. Who are you going to play this week? Oh, shoot. I might just drop... I love Irv Smith this week, man. But I might just drop Irv Smith and keep Greg Dulcich until Njoku's back. It's a tough decision, man. I don't have the faith in Pitts. I've been pretty vocal about that for a couple weeks now. John, I have Kyren Williams. I took him off IR, but I like to wait a week before trusting that it'd be an RB2 or 3 for the Rams. Yeah, definitely we want to see it on paper, you know. We want to see something concrete first. Alec Pierce versus Jamal Williams. I mean, Williams for a safer floor, but Pierce for more upside. I can see Jamal Williams getting some usage tomorrow. I could. Just because it's Swift's first game back, you know. All right, Caleb. Someone offered me Garrett Wilson and Jefferson. I would give up McCole Hardman and Randall Robinson. No, I would keep the Hardman and Robinson side personally for Dynasty. Both sides have some value, but I keep Hardman and Robinson. Ingram or Schultz, both are fine. Chase, what's good, Chase, brah? Both are fine. I might go Schultz by a hair, though. Need one flex. Ramondre, Devonta Smith, Ayuk, or Pittman. A lot of good options here. It's either Ramondre or Devonta Smith for me, and I'd probably go Devonta Smith. But it's really close. Ramondre Stevens is going to have a really good game. Definitely between those two for me. Ash 12, PPR, Jalen Hurts, Cup, Hopkins, Ertz, Taysom, Ramondre, Melvin Gordon. On the bench, we got Jamar Chase, J-Mo, Connor, Herbert, Ricard White, Patterson. 4-3. Do I rebuild or wait for Chase? I mean, 4-3 is not a bad place to be. When you got Hurts, Cup, Hopkins, Ertz, Ramondre. You're hurting at running back a little bit, though. Connor's out. Herbert and Melvin have split time. Ricard White not really into that role that gives him, you know, optimal productivity. And Patterson, I mean, Patterson coming back helps you a lot. I might try to get another receiver running back on this team. Try and throw together a trade of some sort. But I would try to keep Hurts, Cup, Hopkins, Ertz, and Ramondre. I really would. And honestly, I'd try to keep Khalil Herbert as well. But and Patterson. So, in terms of players I would trade, Taysom Hill, Melvin Gordon, J-Mo, James Conner, Ricard White. You know, see what you can get from those guys. But I don't think you need to, like, completely rebuild. Personally, I'd hold on to Chase. Let's just get a stupid offer. Let's see here. Malik or Trevor Lawrence? I hope this is... What's up, BMR? I hope this is a double quarterback or super flex league. Man, it's tough. I'll tell you that much. It is tough. But I probably would not start Trevor Lawrence this weekend. It's not a good matchup. Broncos are very good against opposing quarterbacks. I would... If you, I mean, gosh, kind of exciting to start Malik Willis. Why not? I mean, I don't see a very high ceiling for Malik Willis, but he does have the Texans. Who've been very bad. If he can get that, if he can get the wheels turning, man, if he can start running, could be a really good lineup or matchup for him, man. I don't like Trevor Lawrence this week. Depends on who else is out there, but I mean, we don't know what to expect out of Malik Willis. So if you have conviction in him, I think it's okay. So, Hayden Hurst or Pat Freiermuth. Andrew, I go Pat Freiermuth easily. Listen, Hayden Hurst's been very good on the season, but the Browns have played well against position, and Pat Freiermuth has played phenomenal. He tied in 9. I think Hurst is like tied in 11, but personally, I would start Freiermuth. Activate Van Jefferson from IR, drop and stash Treylon Burks. I would... it could be interesting if Burks comes back and has really good chemistry as Willis. But I would hold Van Jefferson for now. The Rams kind of need him. Would you go Randall Robinson or Paris Campbell? Personally, I'm going Randall Robinson. Listen, there's definitely some upside with all these Colts receivers, but I just want to see what it looks like with Sam Ehlinger at quarterback before I do anything. Hey, John, mind rating my full PPR playoff team? This would be my roster for Week 12 onward since all buys will be done. Cousins, JJ, St. Brown, Eckler, Walker, Mandrews, Carlson, Baltimore's defense, Sutton, Stevenson, Foreman, Alec Pierce, and JMO. Trying to assert my dominance in my work league. I think the team looks great, man. For a 12-teamer. I mean, not crazy upside at quarterback, but at least you got the stack with JJ. I mean, if Amon-Ra can stay healthy... You're in a good position, man. So you're starting Cousins, Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Eckler, Walker, Andrews, Carlson, Baltimore's defense. And you can flex Stevenson or Sutton or Foreman or Pierce, and I'd probably flex Stevenson. But yeah, team looks good to me, man. It's a very solid team. I feel pretty good about this. Godfather, what's good, man? What up, what up? Start Goff, Malik Willis, Danny Jones, or T-Law. It's Danny Dimes, no doubt about it. Daniel Jones to the moon this weekend, baby. He's got a great matchup. Seattle's like 22nd in the league against opposing quarterbacks. He's playing good football. The Giants are playing good football. I'm going Danny Dimes. Shelton, what's up, bro? How are you doing? I'm doing good, man. I need help with my flex. I'm 1-6. Drake London, Kareem Hunter, Robinson. I go Brian Robinson personally. Spencer, what's up, man? How are you, bro? Richie Carr or Andy, who has a chance to score the most points? Andy Dalton, for sure. Call me crazy. Andy Dalton coming off a 34-point performance. Would I expect that? Not necessarily, but the Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league from a fantasy perspective against opposing quarterbacks. So, yeah, I'll go Andy Dalton. Jimmy G or Cousins? I'd probably go Cousins. You know, Arizona, Minnesota feels like a good little... game script for the quarterback position. Pickens or Curtis Samuel this week, full PPR. I'll go Pickens. Call me crazy. Just, you know, is it a good matchup? No, but is it a game script where the Steelers will have to be throwing the football a lot? And, I mean, hey, Kenny Pickett's coming out here and he's tossing, he's slinging that thing. He's trying to learn. He's trying to make mistakes, you know, and I like that about him. And, his primary target is George Pickens, so I'm not against Pickens from a full PPR perspective, that is, you know, because we've looked at this schedule for the Steelers the past couple weeks going into Kenny Pickett starting. It's like, wow, this is bad schedule, but they're gonna be in game scripts where they have to throw the football, so I'll go Pickens. Tony Pollard or JT in the flex, man. You can't afford to sit JT. I mean, Pollard's going to have a good game. Don't get me wrong. You know, Zeke's not going to be out there and everything. The Bears' defense isn't awful, actually, but definitely vulnerable, you know. But I don't bench JT. No way, man. Sport Dog John, I could pick up no new player. Khalil Shakir, is he trying for Mac McKenzie's job or just a backup? I mean, I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. I haven't heard anything concrete. 16.5 points against Buffalo. Too volatile for me, man. He's a rookie. Too volatile for me, man. We got to get a more consistent sample size before I make that move, my guy. This dude in 4th place in my league traded with his friend who was in 12th. He gave the guy in 12th Leonard Fournette and Cortland Sutton. The guy in 12th place gave him Swift and Chase. No. No, it's not fair. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't know. If they're of the belief that Chase is going to miss a large amount of time and they think Swift is very injury prone and Fournette's not, I mean, you know, actually, if it was preseason, we'd be like, no freaking way, man. But Fournette is RP4 in full PPR, so and even with Sutton having the 2 down weeks, he's still a top 25 receiver. So it's actually, it like first glance you're like, yeah, it's not really fair, but overall it's actually not that unfair, especially if you're of the belief that Chase is going to miss a large amount of time than suspected, you know, which some people are. I'm worried if Schultz doesn't play, I'm screwed since Ingram plays the early London game. You can play it safe, Chase. I mean, you know, Ingram is extremely safe. You know, is there a lot of upside? No. But if you don't want to worry about Schultz playing or not playing, then I think it's fine. Or you can just wake up like super early tomorrow and see if there's an injury update for Schultz. And I mean, at the moment, Schultz is expected to play, but famous last words, right? Let's see. We smashed in the under on Trevor Lawrence, 215 passing yards. You know, wow, he's at 220.5 on Underdog. I mean, you could be looking at a number of places. You know, I don't know if I love that line necessarily. I mean, gosh. Zach Wilson's not really a good factor. He had 121 passing yards last week, but I feel like he's not the best quarterback to take a look at. So let's see here. I probably wouldn't. I kind of like Lawrence to throw an interception. Let me take a look here. I just want to see how quarterbacks have played. So, oh, and Lawrence. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. So Herbert, Matt Ryan, and Carr are the last 3 quarterbacks before Wilson. So Herbert, Ryan, Carr. Test my memory here. Okay. Herbert had 238 passing yards. Ryan has best game. Oh, wait. No, he had 250 passing yards. Okay. And then Carr had 188 passing yards, his worst game of the year. That's tempting, bro. It's tempting. But when we look at T-Law on the season, week 6, 165 passing yards. Week 4, 174. Those were against Indy and Philadelphia. Every other game this season, he's had over 220 passing yards. So it's definitely, it's not the worst prop, but you also got to think, I mean, that's 2 games out of 7 games so far on the season, you know. And it's not the worst. It's not the worst. I don't know if I'm smashing it, though. I like T-Law to throw a pick. Think about sending a trade in Dynasty. I'll be giving him Randall Hardman in 2023 third-round pick, and I would receive Godwin and Garrett Wilson. I don't dislike that trade, Caleb. If you need to win now, I don't dislike it, but I do worry about Godwin's long-term fantasy value if and when there's a quarterback change. You know what I'm saying? Stream Ellinger, Malik. I'm dropping Rodgers. 12-man PPR. Holy crap, Jimmy G Holiday. I don't blame you at all. I go Malik Willis by hair, but I mean, Ellinger feels like relatively safe to me. But Malik Willis probably brings more upside. He's got to get the run game going. I mean, the run game as a Malik Willis running the football, which he should be able to against. I mean, there's risk with both these quarterbacks. So at the end of the day, Jimmy J, go with whoever you have more conviction in. Nick, should I do Stevenson for Olave? It's a fair trade, but it just depends. You need a running back more or receiver more. Fair trade, though. How do you feel about Burrow versus Murray? I'm leaning Burrow, but wondered what you thought since Chase is out. Both are fine, but I'd probably go Burrow. I'm starting Burrow over Murray in a league this week, so even with Chase out. I will say there's definitely a possibility that the Bengals run the football a lot in this game because the Browns have been awful against the run. I think Joe Mixon's going to have a huge game, so depends if the Browns can keep it competitive or not, how often Chase will have to throw, where, you know, it is kind of an interesting one to think about because I do think the Cardinals-Vikings game script is a little bit more competitive, but I don't know, man. Burrow's playing at way too high of a level for me to sit right now. But Kyler Murray's still playing very good, so. Irv Smith or Kyle Pitts? I go Irv Smith all the way, man. I love this matchup for Irv Smith this week. Down to some really bad defensive options, Miami, Atlanta, or the Rams. I'd probably go Miami. Detroit's been a good team to stream against this year, even if they get some of those offensive weapons back. I'd probably go Miami. I wouldn't go Atlanta, man. I would not. And frankly, I wouldn't go the Rams either. And I don't like Seattle. I go Miami. Why is Randall Robinson the most high-ceiling play that no one's talking about? I'm talking Amon Ra comp. I mean, I like Randall Robinson. I've been recommending him for a couple of weeks now, or 2 or 3 weeks. So, I mean, he hasn't really shown a great ceiling, to be honest. I mean, what? He's got, 12.7 points in week 6, 11 in week 7. Well, Seattle's defense is not good. Where do they come in against the receiver position? Because it's actually not. It's actually surprising. Let me take a look here. So, oh, that's Allen Robinson. Yeah, I mean, Seattle's the 5th best team in the league against the wide receiver position. So I think those two factors. I mean, the fact that he hasn't had more than 12.7 points on the year. And Seattle's not bad against the position is probably why. But he's a solid, safe floor play for sure. Defense for week 8, San Fran or the Jets. I'd probably go San Francisco. But the Jets I still think are a good play. Waller or Hurst, I'd probably go Waller if he's healthy. Browns have played pretty well against position on the year. What's up, Chris and Don? Lucius, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much for being here tonight, man. Appreciate you guys spending part of your Saturday night here at the channel. Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Let's try and get as many likes on the stream as possible. But I appreciate you guys being here, man. How you guys doing? You guys excited for Halloween? Doing anything fun? How's your guys' weekend going? Let me know what's up, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Ayuk, Eno, or Boyd? I'd probably go Eno. I think Eno's going to have a really safe game, a really good game, Lucius. But Boyd's fine, Ayuk's fine. I'd probably go Eno. What do you believe Tony is going to perform for KC after the bye week? I want to see it happen. I'm not picking up Tony early unless I'm just in a really good position. I have a free roster spot or whatever. Like, I get it, guys. Talented athlete, but I if you guys watched the channel last year, I never believed in Kadarius Toney. Truthfully, I was like I swear the only person I knew who after week 5 last year against Dallas was like, maybe it was after week 6, whatever, around that time period where I was like, I have no, like, we heard about Kadarius Toney every week after week 5 where he had the, 29.6 fantasy performance. And every week I told you guys I just didn't have the faith. He did have 11 points in week 11 last year, excuse me. But I want to see it happen first. Because quite frankly, it just hasn't happened since week 5 of last year, you know? So we'll see what happens, man. Sold Saquon, Pittman, and Everett for Kelsey and Walker. I like that trade. I mean, I hate to see you lose Saquon. But it's not an awful trade at all. I mean, you gained the best tight end in fantasy football, and he still got Walker, so it's a pretty decent trade, man. But losing Saquon hurts. If you have more faith in terms of injury and durability, then it's a good trade. Sold Watson and Boyd for Lamar. Not a bad trade if you didn't need the depth at receiver. T-Law is a league winner in 12 teams. I mean, yeah, I do like T-Law on the rest of the season. I don't like him this week, though, against Baltimore. Apparently, Josh Jacobs is out. Who told you that? He's off the injury report. Someone look into that. James Conner is out. Is T. Higgins going to finish top 10 receivers this year? I don't know if I go that far. It's possible, but I feel like there's too much volume to go around in that receiving room. I mean, he's your wide receiver 24 right now. Like, even without Chase, I mean, anything's possible, but I don't know if I go that far. Would you start ETN or Pierce tomorrow? Both are great starts. I'd probably go ETN by a hair, but both are really good starts. I just feel like the Texans are going to be more in a game script where they're going to have to try and throw the football, even though they should just run the football. Like, they had no talent elsewhere. But both are good starts, man. But I'll go ETN by a hair. Both are really good starts, for sure. All right, let's see. Sport Dog John, I could pick up Marquise Goodwin. Both Seattle wide receivers are hurting. Would you pick him up? I don't mind picking him up, but I do think, I mean, obviously DK, there's still a chance that DK plays. A slim chance. But really, when we look at Goodwin last week, 22.7 points. Gets the Giants this week. I mean, Lockett and Metcalf are both questionable. I still think Goodwin's worth a look. I'll put it that way. Still think he's probably worth picking up. Are you going to play him? It depends on the health of the other two. Legacy, what's up? Start 3, Olave, Mixon, Walker. Olave, Mixon, Kamara, Walker, ETN. Jeez Christ. I start Mixon against the Browns for sure. I start Walker. I'll go Olave, but it's real. Shoot. Now I go Kamara. It's really close there, man. I mean, you really can't go wrong. But I'm telling you, I really want Joe Mixon in my starting lineups this week. That Browns run defense has been abysmal. I mean, I don't know. I might go Mixon, Kamara, Walker as much as... I mean, Olave is going to have a good game, though. That's tough. That's very tough. You really can't go wrong. But I feel like the odd man out is ETN. As much as I like him. Let me know what you're thinking, Legacy. Mooney or Tony more upside? Well, I mean... I feel like Tony theoretically has more upside. I'm not a big fan of Tony. But Mooney doesn't really bring upside anymore. So, I mean, to answer your question, it probably is, it has to be Tony, right? But I'd probably rather roster Mooney at the moment, as long as it's full PPR. Andrew, giving out candy, staying home. I like it. That's the way to do it. Yeah, it's the baby's first Halloween, so I'll actually be going out this year. But usually I'm just at home with, watching Halloween movies and leaving candy on the front porch. Where can I start a Dynasty League to draft with my friends outside of Sleeper? I mean, I really feel like Sleeper is the easiest and best platform. But, you know, that's a good question. I feel like just about any league or any platform, you should be able to start a Dynasty League. I mean, I don't see why you couldn't start one on just about any platform, man. ESPN does them. Wow, maybe it's not every platform. I don't know, man. I've never started Dynasty League. I'm trying to look into it for you, though. Just to make sure. Flea Flicker is apparently semi okay. I've never heard of Flea Flicker, so I'm going to recommend it. Yahoo or ESPN does offer it, but from everything I'm reading, most people prefer Sleeper. But looks like those could be options for you too, my guy. All right, let's see. Mooney has more upside, says Godfather. Chiefs have a lot of weapons. I mean, that's a fair way of putting it too. Jacobs is healthy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mel, what's up, bro? What up, what up? Full PPR, Henderson or Cooks and Flex, Tua or Hurts? Oh, Jalen Hurts for sure. Also, if AJ Brown start, yeah, I mean, we're not benching Hurts. I mean, Tua's got a phenomenal matchup, but Hurts has got a phenomenal matchup. We cannot consider benching Jalen Hurts. I get where you're going with there. I don't think Henderson holds a lot of upside. Like, if you start Hendo, like, he's got to score a touchdown. I mean, it's not a great matchup against the Niners defense. So, I might go Cooks. I haven't really been making a lot of calls in Cooks' favor. It's not a bad matchup for Brandon Cooks by any means, but I guess I'll go Cooks. It's full PPR. Who would you bank on rest of the season? What's up, Curly? With Kamara, JT? That's so tough. JT. But both are great. You did say you like the Jets defense this weekend. I do. I think they're going to have a good weekend. I mean, I think Mac Jones probably throws an easy interception in this game. And I think they're going to be able to shut down the passing game, man. I mean, you look at that, like, yeah, Devontae Parker can get some things done, but he shut down Jacoby Myers. Like, who are they going to throw to? And Sauce is going to shut him down. The run game for the Patriots will be their moral victory for sure, though. Drew, what's good, bro? Rolling the dice from Malik Willis. Let's do it. Andrew says Nico Collins is out. That helps Brandon Cook's stock for the weekend. Who's Malik going to throw the ball to? Woods. He's going to run the football, like Drew's saying. Yeah, I mean, the Texans are awful against the run, so it's a fair point. I mean, this team has no pass catchers, essentially. So it is a fair point. You got Bobby Trees out there, and that's about it. I mean, you got, fortunately, Treylon Burks is hurt. So we'll see what happens. But the Texans' defense, especially against the run, has not been good. They've held some teams to low-scoring affairs, but their run defense has been awful. I mean, Derrick Henry's in line for a ridiculous amount of volume tomorrow. Would you play Ertz or Jerry Jeudy? What a crazy year. Wilson's contract is so huge. Yeah, I would go, I'll go Ertz. I go Ertz for sure. Gibson or Tony rest season? I would keep Gibson personally. I don't have that faith in Tony, so that's just me personally. Colts or Titans defense this week? Both are fine, honestly, but I'd probably go with the Colts against Washington, but I don't hate the Titans this weekend. Both are fine. Both are good streaming options. I'd probably lean the Colts because I think they've played, their secondary especially has played better on the season. I'd probably go the Colts. You think CeeDee Lamb has a bounce back this week or is more the same? Honestly, man, probably more the same. which isn't awful. As long as you play full PPR, he's your wide receiver 14, and he's had double digits every game this year except for week 1. But yeah, he's a safe floor player with not a lot of upside, you know. Weeks 3 and 4, he had at least 21 fantasy points outside of that. And outside of week 1, right, between 10 and 15 points every week. So, yeah. Probably about the same. What do you think about Tyler Boyd Monday since Chase is out? I like Tyler Boyd a lot, Shelton. I do. John, I know I asked you yesterday about Michael Thomas status, but I missed your answer. I heard he may have a Liz Frank issue with his ankle. Is he droppable? I have Olave. I mean, frankly, if you have Olave, I would probably try and trade Michael Thomas. Yeah, there's no true timetable for Michael Thomas to return. And he's also dealing with turf toe, which like can be a really long-term injury for some athletes. So just keep that in mind as well. Is he droppable? Man, I wish you could put him on your IR. I would try and see if you can trade him, man. They'd make him part of a trade package, obviously. You're not going to be able to trade him straight up, but if you have Olave, like you have the core receiver you want on that team, you know what I'm saying? Would you trade Ramondre Stevenson and Pittman for JT? Seems like a lot, but considering it, I'd be trading for Taylor. I'm not totally against it. Not totally against it. I still have a lot of faith in Ramondre. So, but it is JT, like you're saying. So, I'm not totally against it, man. All right, caught up with the chat. Look at that. Let's go. We did it. Moral victory for the night. I'm going to check the... going to check... Let me see. The score of the World Series. Oh, it's over. Okay. Houston won 5-2. Man, last night was a great game. Zeke is a good buy low. I don't disagree with that, Suave. Can you create a playoff-friendly list for us? I've been attempting to trade my team away for a playoff-friendly player. Like New York Jets have 4 friendly games, week 15 plus, etc. Yeah. Probably be kind of hard to do like right here live, but I did do that last year, Shopkey, where I don't remember what week I did it. We're about halfway through the season, so I can start thinking about that pretty shortly. But yeah, last year I did like top 5 running backs, top 5 receivers, top 5 quarterbacks, top 5 tight ends for fantasy playoffs based on defensive rankings at that point in the season. I think I waited till like week 10. Only 1 month left to do trades. Good point. Yeah, I'll probably throw something similar together, man, for sure. I did it last year, so definitely not ruling that out as an option this year. Yeah, it's a great point. So I'm down, man. We'll add that to the agenda. Yeah, I got you the Shopkey, of course. You think Chase being injured hurts Burrow's production for a few weeks? I mean, it hurts. Don't get me wrong. But I have a lot of faith in Joe Burrow. But it hurts. Like, yeah, it's his top receiving option, as good as Higgins and Boyd are. But he's just playing good football, man. Playing good football. But yeah, it definitely hurts a little bit. Don't get me wrong. Last night's game was a lot of fun. Big comeback, extra innings with a winning home run. Yeah, it was a great game, man. Great game. Was good, who? Start 2 between Travis Etienne and Pierce and Swift. Woo! Loaded, man. Probably would just want to look to matchups here, right? And probably potential game script. I'd probably start Etienne and Swift because I think those are the more competitive game scripts. With Dameon Pierce, I could see him in a game script where the Texans need to throw the football a little bit. You know? Because I think that Derrick Henry is going to run all over this Houston Texans defense. So, you can't really go wrong here, my guy. You really can't go wrong here. All are great starts. But I'd probably go Etienne and Swift. Zeke for Tony straight up. By the way, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Suave JP. Hope you're enjoying it, man. Thanks for spending part of your birthday here at the channel. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. Happy birthday, bro. Emojis in the chat for you. I would keep Zeke. I don't like Tony. If you like Tony, fine. But I would rather keep Zeke for sure. Burrow been carrying my team, so I'm just hoping for more of the same. Burrow will be fine, man. I truly believe that. Irv Smith or Schultz if he plays. I go Irv Smith against the Cardinals. Way too good of a matchup. I go Irv Smith. That's my stream of the week, man. Andrew, have a great night. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon. Yeah, Schultz is expected to play tomorrow, as Albert says. So, Devontae Adams expected to play tomorrow. Yeah. Those two don't really surprise me. But, good updates. Appreciate that, Albert, for sure, man. Any worry about Titans defense tomorrow due to QB situation or are they solid? I mean, I'm a little bit worried about them, especially because that secondary has been relatively vulnerable. So, if you have other options out there you want to consider, I mean, let me know, man, and I'll give you my thoughts. But, like, it's not like they bring a great ceiling, you know. I mean, they got 20 points last week. I get it. 11 points in week 1, 12 in week 4. But they've had some pretty down weeks, too. So, I think they're a pretty safe play. But the secondary is really bad, and I don't know. I could see that game get a little dicey. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Depends on who else is out there. It's all love, Suave. Happy birthday, my guy. Schultz or Hayden Hurst or Irv Smith. I go Irv Smith, then Schultz, then Hurst. The Browns have played well against tight end position, but they're all good options this week. But I go Irv Smith. If Irv Smith has a bad game, you guys are going to hate me, man. Adams feeling better. Let's go. Chubb, ETN, Swift, Walker, Dillon, Higgins, Amon-Ra, AJ Brown, any sellers. I mean, if you have Chubb, ETN, Swift, and Walker, keep them. Keep them. You're going to need that depth, man. Trust me, running back depth is going to be really important here. But you can sell AJ Dillon for sure with that depth, you know? Higgins, Amon-Ra, Brown. I know I would want, dude. I mean, that's a great roster. I keep those guys. But you can sell AJ Dillon. You can get rid of him. You don't need him. Amon-Ra is most likely playing tomorrow. Everything I've read states yes. Which is good, because I need him back. It's like the only reason I was playing well in one of my leagues at the beginning of the year. Like, one literally carried me at the beginning of the year. He was your wide receiver 3 through those first 3 weeks of the season, man. I miss him. He's just fun to watch, too, you know? What's up, Christopher? What's up, my guy? Curtis Samuel or Pat Freiermuth? Whew. I mean, Pat Freiermuth for a safe floor, but Curtis Samuel for upside for sure. So, if you feel like you'd rather go for kind of a safer play, but not as much of a ceiling, Pat Freiermuth is very safe this week. Even against the Philadelphia Eagles, who have a phenomenal defense. Like, it's going to be a game where the Steelers have to throw the football, right? Game script is not in their favor. They're going to be behind unless something crazy happens. They did do something crazy against the Buccaneers 2 weeks ago. But Buccaneers are not the Eagles, you know, not even close. But Curtis Samuel definitely brings some upside, but it is a tough matchup. Keep in mind that the Colts secondaries played very well against opposing receivers. But he did have 12.9 points last week against Green Bay with Heineke as a starter. So 8 targets, 5 receptions, 53 receiving yards for Samuel. But the Colts have played well against opposing receivers. So I think, quite frankly, Pat Freiermuth is quite fine in the flex and full PPR. He's your tight end 9 on the season. But like I said, if you want to go for a little bit more upside, probably go with Curtis Samuel there. So definitely an interesting choice between those two players for sure, man. Let's see here. Let's see. Panthers, Falcons, Raiders, Hawks, Packers, Commanders, Bears, Giants, Saints, Broncos, Browns, Jets. Frankly, I go with the Broncos or Jets first. I personally like them more than the Titans. I think the Jets are going to have a pretty decent game. So, I would go... I'm starting the Jets in like 2 leagues this week. I think they're going to have a good game, man. I'll probably go with the Jets. We got you, Santos, of course, bro. Herbert or Hilliard? Connor's out again. I'd probably go Khalil Herbert. No, I don't. Ooh, that's tough. That is tough. I mean, most weeks I'd just go Herbert, but he gets the Cowboys. Best team in the league against the position, you know? And Hilliard's a backup. But he could be in a game script where he gets some touches, the way this Texans defense has played against the run. I'd probably go Hilliard, but I don't like either option. I'm sure you don't either, Yango. LBR, Keenan Allen, Corder, Patterson, Keenan Allen and Patterson, or Thielen, Mostert, and Renfro. I'd probably go with the Allen and Patterson side. But if you're worried about injury, go with the second side. I mean, Mostert's going to have a good week this week. Thielen's always a decent flex play. Renfro's been really disappointing. But the upside definitely lies with Keenan Allen and Patty and Cheese for sure. John, I'm using Jason Myers in both my leagues. Any opinion on Myers? Myers has been a great kicker all season long. Nothing wrong whatsoever with starting Jason Myers on a weekly basis. The Seahawks in a lot of really good game scripts for the kicker position. He's your kicker 4 in fantasy. He's on a roll. He's had at least 9 points in his last 5 matchups. And only one of those games he's had 9 points. Every other game he's had 11 to 16 fantasy points. Gets the Giants, Arizona, Tampa Bay, and then a bye week. I mean, really good overall game scripts there. Yeah, I keep rolling with Myers. I mean, I'm starting him in at least one league, maybe 2 leagues. So he's been my guy. Kicker 4, you're in a good position there, man. We love Amon-Ra. Is more electric than Cooper Kupp. Ooh. Might be fighting words. Goff or Andy Dalton. Both are fine streams. But with the volatility that Goff, I mean, don't get me wrong. Andy Dalton probably brings some volatility as well. But both are good streams this week. Miami has not played exactly phenomenal against the quarterback position. But the Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league against the quarterback position from a fantasy perspective. I go Andy Dalton. I think Dalton's going to have another good game. He's going to have 34 points? Probably not. But I go Dalton. Don't start any Steelers offensive players, Eagles fan. I do think, as much as I don't necessarily disagree, I think that the Eagles defense is going to have a really great day. There's some value to the receivers in this game and the pass catchers, and frankly a little bit of value to Najee Harris, just because overall, for whatever reason, the Steelers will just continue running the football when they need to throw it more. But like, you look at the last 2 weeks, right? They had Miami in week 7, Tampa Bay in week 6, Buffalo in week 5. These were not good matchups for the Steelers, you know. Deontay Johnson in those 3 weeks, 13 targets, 7 targets, 10 targets. George Pickens, 8, 6, and 6. Not as much as I thought for Pickens, but 14.3, 5.8, and 18.1 are his fantasy stat lines. Then Claypool, 9 targets, 7 targets, 8 targets. And then even if you want to take it a step further and look at Pat Freiermuth, he got hurt, so it's not really fair. Week 5 got hurt. Week 6 he was out. But then week 7, 9 targets. These are game scripts where they're not good matchups. The defenses are very good. They're far better than the Steelers' offense, who has a lot of promise, but the play calling is awful and they're very young. But these game scripts are putting the Steelers in a position where they need to throw the football. So, from a full PPR standpoint, I'm not completely against them, you know. I mean, even Najee Harris has had 12.9 points against Tampa Bay and 11 against Miami. The ceiling's not good, but the floor is safe. Had a bad week in week 5 against Buffalo, but the Bills have been really good against the running back position. So, I get what you're saying, dude. Don't get me wrong. Eagles are going to own the day, but there's some fantasy value here, of course. Logan, what's good, bro? Pickens or London? Yeah, I go Pickens. Justin Jefferson, Rashad White for Waddle, and Amari Cooper in a 10-man league. I'm not necessarily against it. If you need receiver help, if you don't, I hold JJ. If you do, I definitely consider the trade. As much as JJ's a man. Don't get me wrong, man. I mean, Jefferson is your wide receiver 5. He's probably going to move up a spot or so with Chase missing a few weeks. He was your wide receiver 4. But Waddle is your wide receiver 8, so it's not too steep of a drop, you know. Plus, he had kind of some 2 down games without Tua, you know, when Tua missed time. So he should continue to progress as well. And then Cooper, on the other hand, is very quietly your wide receiver 12 on the season, you know. Big difference between wide receiver 5 or even 8 and wide receiver 12. But, yeah, I mean, if you need receiver depth, I'd definitely consider it. Jason was good, bro. Yeah, good luck to you tomorrow as well, my guy. What up, what up? Sport Dog, I Philly defense on both leagues. I don't think I'll worry about adding any other defense. They're so strong and well-balanced. No, if you own the Eagles defense, you're set the rest of the year, in my opinion, unless something just drastic happens or a ton of injuries, because Eagles already had their bye week, so you're set there. They get Pittsburgh, Houston, Washington, Indianapolis. They're going to face Davis Mills. Excuse me, Kenny Pickett, Davis Mills, Taylor Heineke, Sam Ehlinger in the next 4 weeks. Then they get the Green Bay Packers, who have not been playing well offensively. And they get the Tennessee Titans, who knows what they're going to look like by week 13. The Giants in week 14 is probably their toughest matchup. They get Chicago in week 15. Then they get Dallas in week 16. The Saints in week 17. Like, they are solid the rest of the year, man. Undoubtedly. Week 18, they get the Giants again. I mean, we'll be done with fantasy for majority of you guys. The other team that, like, if you own, you're in a phenomenal... I mean, the other team that puts you in a phenomenal position is the Buffalo Bills, your defense 5. Yes, they have some tough matchups, but, like, really, when you look at it, Green Bay, the Jets, Minnesota, Cleveland, Detroit, New England, the Jets, Miami, Chicago, Cincy. I don't know, man. That's actually... that's pretty damn solid, if you ask me. And then, of course, the Cowboys, who do have a bye week in week 9. But once they come back, they get Green Bay, the Giants, Indy, Houston, Jacksonville. Philly, not good there. Tennessee, but really, they've got a really, really good schedule as well. So, yeah, I agree. Went on a little tangent there, but I agree, man. Philly's going to ball, man. I got so lucky. I picked them up. In one of my leagues, they got dropped, and I was able to pick them up, man. So, unfortunately, I dropped the Cowboys defense for the Patriots last week. So I had the Patriots and Philly, and God, do I wish I had Dallas and Philly. But anyways, I'll survive. Algier's on waivers. I think Tyler Algier's a good play. Yeah, in that situation, I go Algier over Hilliard and Herbert. Yeah, I go Algier for sure. Anthony, big game for Ayuk with Debo out this week. I like Ayuk, don't get me wrong, but I like him more with Debo on the field, believe it or not, because, I mean, Jalen Ramsey doesn't really play like a true one-on-one corner type position, but, you know, he kind of floats. He does all kinds of different things. So, I just don't know how much Ramsey's going to be on Ayuk. You know, this secondary has been really bad. Really bad. But Ramsey's been the bright spot for sure, you know. So, Ayuk could have a good game, but I like the more Debo out there, to be honest. I still think Ayuk's a good flex, don't get me wrong. He's played very well the last 2 weeks. All right, flex 1. St. Brown, Singletary, Pittman, Deontay, or Jamal. St. Brown for me, Jason. St. Brown for me. Legacy, so sorry I missed it. Well, it's interesting because I wanted to kind of get your thoughts. I think you really can't go wrong. I think he said Olave here, which I think you go Mixon. And I think you said Olave, and then ETN's the odd man out because he gets the Broncos. But he could have... I mean, I still think ETN's going to have a good game. I still think Olave's going to have a good game. I think you go Mixon, Kamara, Walker. But I was kind of like... kind of debated with Olave. Kind of thought about ETN. You know... I was interested to get your thoughts. I'd probably go Mixon, Kamara, Walker. Mel, full PPR. I'm in 13 leagues. Can you rank Kirk, Carr, Tua? On the season, probably Kirk, Tua, then Carr. Sutton, Cooks, Moore, Davis. Probably Gabe Davis, although he brings Boomer bust. Sutton, Moore, and Cooks, if we're talking the full season. Depends if Cooks gets traded. I go the Jets over the Jags. So, look, Panthers, Dolphins, Broncos, or Rams are available. I might take a chance on the Broncos. Gosh, they've really fallen off. And they had a 17-point performance in week 3, a 17-point performance in week 5. Outside of that, they've had 9 or less fantasy points. I mean, not awful. I might take a chance on the Broncos. If not, I might take a chance on the Panthers are kind of interesting, actually. I kind of like the Panthers as a streaming option. I don't think they have a very high ceiling, but I kind of like them against Atlanta. Why not? Yeah, kind of safe floor, no ceiling. Probably go Panthers. Dolphins or Broncos bring more upside. I probably like them over the Titans, to be honest. I don't know. I don't feel great about the Titans defense this week. Is that crazy, guys? I'm buying Najee so low in a week or two. I mean, I do think that Najee all season long has brought a really safe ceiling. Or, excuse me, a really safe floor. Not a good ceiling at all. But, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem going out and getting Najee if he's going to be primarily on your bench, you know. Because in worst case scenario, like, you can just toss him in and, you know, you can bet on a pretty safe floor if you have to. I mean, I own him in a league where I have to start him, so. Should I pick up and stash Hasty or Goodwin? If you're going to pick up one or the other, I'd probably pick up Goodwin. I give Keenan Allen, Cordell Patterson, Deebo Samuel, Tyler Boyd, and I receive Thielen, Mostert, Higgins, Renfro. Ooh. No, I keep the first side. I don't see the same value in Thielen and Renfro. Mostert is going to have some really good weeks, but still some down weeks. T. Higgins is obviously valuable, but like, I keep the first side. Too much upside with Keenan Allen and Deebo, even if they're missing this week. Patterson's coming back shortly. Tyler Boyd's going to hold value while Chase is out. I will keep the first side. Boy, Kevin, what's good, bro? With the $2 dono. What a guy. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that, bro. Very kind of you, man. Thank you. I have to start 2 flexes, Davis, Boyd, or Kirk. Still deciding about it so hard. You know, frankly, man, I'd probably go Tyler Boyd and Gabe Davis. Get a pretty safe floor with Tyler Boyd against the Browns. You get some nice upside with Gabe Davis. And I'm not completely against Christian Kirk because he primarily lines up in the slot. But it's still the worst matchup overall. I go Davis and Boyd. I'm not completely out on Kirk, depending on options out there for you guys. But, yeah, I go Davis and Boyd, Kevin. Let me know what you think about it, man. And, of course, let me know if you have anything else you want me to go over, man. Let me know if you have anything else in terms of the question. But, yeah, end of the day, I'm going Davis and Boyd. Yes, Pat Surtain is the main issue for opposing receivers going up against the Broncos, but also the whole unit has played well against the position. But also, you just never know. These damn London games, man, everything can go out the window. You know what I'm saying? So, but I still go Boyd and Gabe Davis there. All right, let's see here. Full PPR need one. Rondell Moore, Samuel, DPJ, Gallup, or Renfro. I'd probably go Curtis Samuel, but Rondell Moore and DPJ are okay. Gallup, I got to see it happen. Renfro, I got to see it happen too. So, I like the other options more. Kevin with another $2 dono. Thank you, bro. Look at that little, what is that? Is that a dog dancing? Let's go. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate you, bro. You the man. Waller or Hawkinson? I go Hawkinson this week, Stanley. Yeah, Andrew, I go the Jets. I like the Jets this week. I really do. DK Metcalf playing tomorrow. Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, I just really need Metcalf to start this week. Ooh, I'm seeing a game. Oh, wait, this is a day ago. This is a day ago. And I know Albert always has the fire updates when it comes to injuries. All right, guys. Metcalf gets the Giants. Okay. If you're a Metcalf owner, are you starting him tomorrow? Because I got to make a decision here. The Giants are the third best team in the league against opposing receivers. Metcalf is officially playing. Albert with that fire news, bro. You guys starting Metcalf tomorrow if you own him. I can start him or Randall Robinson. And Seattle's pretty good against receiver position. Drop Hilliard or Cooks for Algier. Probably. You could really go either one. You could really go either one. Who do you have less faith in? Which offense do you like less? Probably Hilliard, but Cook still brings like only so much value, you know? Hilliard might be a better handcuff. I hate both of these options, but I'm stuck. Lawrence or Rodgers. Wow. Man, Rodgers either comes back, has a really solid performance against Buffalo, solidifies like, you know, who he is as a quarterback, or he just has a rough week. And T-Law does not have a good matchup. I go Trevor Lawrence. Call me crazy. I don't like T-Law this week. I'm avoiding Trevor Lawrence if I can, but it's just, I don't know, man. Chat, what do you think? What do you think? Trevor Lawrence or Aaron Rodgers? Definitely an argument either way for Jeffrey. Got you, Legacy. I got you, bro. Sport Dog, thanks, man. We'll see you in the morning. Check the sleeper update. Yeah, I don't know why I don't get, like... Maybe it's because this isn't reloaded while I'm streaming. Yeah, I don't know why. But like when I was just on Yahoo, it was showing the update you had. So I don't know, man. Stanley, I go Hawkinson. Yeah, J.C. Horn's playing great football, Jeffrey. Drop Bateman for Randall. I would personally, Hector, yeah. Jeffrey, worth noting for people thinking about Kirk. Surtain has only played 2 slot snaps all year. I'm still looking Boyd over Kirk, but it's closer than I thought. Yeah, and that's kind of been my thought process all week with Christian Kirk. But overall, as a unit, the Broncos are still good against the receiver position. Very good, actually. But it's definitely true that Kirk should get, as far as wide receiver ones go, Kirk's got the best value so far in a Pat Surtain matchup. Mel Bailey. Oh, that was for this week. Tua's number 1 this week. Then Kirk, then Carr. I go Sutton. I go Gabe Davis, then Sutton. More than Cooks. More than Cooks. And I go the Jets. So still pretty close there. I was able to trade Debo and Gus for Hendo and A.J. Brown. And I own Higgins this week. Has been good for me, yeah. For sure. I'm not out on Debo, but A.J. Brown's an upgrade. Hendo is probably an upgrade over Gus, although he's got a tough matchup this week. All right, let's see. One more full PPR. Pierce, Cooks, or Carter. I go Damian Pierce. London games, at least this week, there's no one we need to wake up early and see if they're going to play, a.k.a. Kamara. Yeah, DK's going to play. Whew. And don't the Seahawks have a bye week next week? I'm like, you know... Oh, no. What am I thinking? They got a bye week in another 3 weeks. Okay, my bad. I was going to say, why don't you just sit them? But never mind. Don't listen to me. Another big trade, but I give Keenan Allen, Patterson, Jones, and Waller. He gives Thielen, Kelsey, and Mixon. Oh, God. Anytime Kelsey's involved, I tell you guys, consider it. The weekly advantage is too much to not consider. So, I mean, I would think about it just because Kelsey's involved. Give Allen, Patterson, Jones, and Waller. I mean, you get a fair swap. Patterson for Mixon is an advantage. Kelsey over Waller is an advantage. But really, Mixon versus Jones is close. If you look at it that way. I mean, you lose some value here. It depends, LBR. What is... You lose some value. What is your running back and receiver depth like? If your running back depth is good, then yeah, it's fine. If your receiver depth is good, it's fine. If one or the other is not good, you got to think about it pretty heavy, man. Huge upgrade at tight end, though. Dried Ocean, what's good, bro? Should I start Mills or Pickett? Probably Mills. But obviously you're not happy either way, but probably Mills. I mean, you got one against the Titans, one against the Eagles. I'll bet against the Titans, man. What's up, Ocean? Good to see you, bro. I got to start two. What's up, Santos? Gabe Davis, Moore, Kirk, Amari Cooper, Pats or Jets defense. A lot of good options here. A lot of good options. I'll go Gabe Davis for the upside, and call me crazy, I'll go DJ Moore. Falcons are the worst team in the league against opposing receivers. Give me DJ Moore. But Cooper and Kirk are solid starts. I'll go the Jets over the Patriots. But you got pretty decent options all around. Yeah, Lazard is out. That's a good point, Shopkey. That's what I'm saying. I'll go T-Law in that scenario. I'll go T-Law. Wanting to start Carolina defense this week, or should I go with the Colts? I think both are fine. But I might go Carolina by a hair because the Falcons just look pretty decimated offensively. But the Colts aren't a bad start. G, the X was good, bro. Hello, hello. Why so serious? That was like, I was starting. I was like, I'm going to do a Joker voice. And then I was like, I probably shouldn't do that. Kyler Murray or Geno Smith. I still go Kyler here. I think this could be a better week for Kyler overall from a fantasy perspective. It's a good matchup, a good game script against the Vikings. So I go Kyler. Geno's been kind of trending down the past couple weeks. I'm not out on Geno by any means, but I'll go Kyler this week. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Kyler is still, what, QB6? Yeah. So I still go Kyler. And yeah, I mean, Geno in the last couple of weeks just hasn't played at those really nice ceilings we were seeing. It is a good, nice game script, but this Giants defense is good too. Geno's your quarterback 7, don't get me wrong, but 14 points last week, 12.6 points the previous week. So he hasn't been playing at those, those weeks 3 through 5 where he had 19 to 31 fantasy points, And the Giants don't have a bad defense, man. But DK is going to play, which definitely helps. We'll see if Lockett plays. But that does, by the way, with Metcalf starting, that brings Marquise Goodwin's value down for me overall in the week. But yeah, I go Kyler for sure. I picked up Hawkinson off waivers and Pitts, who to start. I have Kelsey, but he's on bye. I go Hawkinson. I'm not starting Pitts this week. I'm not. I go Hawkinson. What's good for underdog bets you're looking into? I can tell you, I've got a couple slips for the weekend for Sunday. I can tell you what I've got. But the way I have the stream set up, I don't think I can pull them up. Kind of hard to explain, but this is like cropped specifically, so this is on the screen, and if I pull up anything else, it's going to look like crap. But also, I was probably going to start posting my underdog slips on Discord every week. Why not? So if you guys want to tail, you can. So I might do that if you want to join the Discord down below. Completely free to do so, but and I usually recommend, especially if you're new to the channel, go and join the Discord anyways. But so here's one slip I put in. This was an early slip, right? So this was put in like Tuesday. So usually the early slips, you don't have very good odds. So this was a very light bet, but Cooper Kupp over 95.5 receiving yards. Deontay Johnson lower than 59.5 receiving yards, assuming he will face Darius Slay most of the day. Cooper Kupp, is Cooper Kupp. So Josh Jacobs over 100 rushing plus receiving yards against the Saints. Alvin Kamara over 102 rushing plus receiving yards against the Raiders. Zach Wilson, lower than 200.5 passing yards. A light bet there. Early slips. Not great odds there. Here's another slip. Derrick Henry, higher than 100.5 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts lower than Jalen Hurts to not throw an interception, basically. Jacoby Myers, under 50 receiving yards, going up against Sauce Gardner. Younghoe Koo to make more than 1.5 field goals. Chase Claypool, lower than 42.5 receiving yards against the Eagles. And by the way, guys, I always run insurance. I'll take a lower payout. I always run insurance. I think it's way smarter. Andy Dalton, here's another slip. To throw 2 passing touchdowns. PJ Walker, over 12.15 fantasy points. Trevor Lawrence to throw an interception. Brett Meyer to kick 2 field goals. Jake Elliott to make at least 3 extra points. I've got another slip. DJ Moore, higher than 58.5 receiving yards. Raheem Mostert, over 67.5 rushing yards. Jacoby Myers, once again, under 50 receiving yards. Ramondre Stevenson, higher than 62.5 rushing yards. Then I did a touchdown prop, so this is a light entry. And once again, I always run insurance. But Ramondre Stevenson have a rushing or receiving touchdown. Eno Benjamin to have a rushing or receiving touchdown. Travis Etienne to have a rushing or receiving touchdown. Tony Pollard to score a rushing touchdown, so that makes it a little bit more risky. Raheem Mostert to score a rushing touchdown. That makes it a little bit more risky because receiving touchdowns don't count. And touchdown props are always kind of risky, but I felt like those were guys who could definitely, especially Benjamin, Mostert in their matchups, Pollard as the lead back, and then Stevenson's been on a roll. And this is insured, so if only 4 of them hit, I at least get my money back, Then I did a kicker prop, which I posted on Instagram. I think this one's a lot of fun. So all these kickers to make 2 field goals. This is a light bet and insured. Greg Joseph, Jason Sanders, Brandon McManus, Fairbairn, and Will Lutz to all make 2 field goals. That's super risky, man. That's a light bet. But so yeah, I can post those on Discord if you want to take a closer look at them. Yeah. Kirk for Thomas. I would keep Christian Kirk personally, Kevin. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. We're about an hour and a half in. So usually Saturday nights between an hour and a half and 2 hours. So let me know if you guys have any final questions, and I can get to them, of course. But outside of that, I'll be on between 11 and 11:30 a.m. tomorrow before kickoff until 1 o'clock. And we can get you guys' rosters right in the morning. But, we'll do injury updates tomorrow, weather updates and everything. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. We've had a great stream tonight. A lot of great interaction from you guys. A lot of great fantasy questions. So thank you guys. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Of course, shout out to anyone who sent a super chat tonight. Appreciate you guys, man. And we'll go ahead and start wrapping it up and winding it down. So make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. And check out the links down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow us on Instagram. Join the Discord. All that good stuff, man. Should I keep Stevenson or try to package him with a wide receiver, get a RB1? My running backs are Jacobs, Connor, Mostert. My wide receivers are D-Hop, St. Brown, Debo, Tony, Davis. No. G to the X, I would keep Stevenson, man. And quite frankly, I consider Stevenson an RB1. Like, I get that Harris is there, but I've been like pushing for Stevenson the last 2 or 3 weeks. Like, don't trade him high. Don't get rid of him. I'm still of that same belief. I still keep Stevenson, man. Plus, you kind of need, with injuries right now, man, with St. Brown, although he's coming back healthy, and Debo banged up, you kind of need, I feel like you need your receivers. So I would keep Stevenson. Joe, start 2, Sutton, Johnson, or Robinson. Sutton, Brian Robinson for me. I don't see a great ceiling for Deontay against the Eagles. Kevin, have a great night. We appreciate you, dog. Shopkey, have a great night. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate you, Shop. I requested those trades like 12 hours ago. No one has said anything, good or bad signs. Could be an okay sign. Could just mean they just want to get through the weekend and see what happens this weekend. And that can happen a lot. Like, if you're offering trades on Fridays and Saturdays, sometimes people they just want to get through the weekend and see what happens, man. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But it could also mean, like, sometimes people just don't even want to think about, like, changing their roster until the week's over. You know what I'm saying? So I think you still got a shot there, my dude. I think you're fine. Yeah, Olrak, I'll try and post those on Underdog, man. Or excuse me, on Discord. I'll try and do that before I hit the hay. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys so much, man. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for spending part of your Saturday night here at the channel. A nice little hour-and-a-half stream with you guys. I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. I love this community, man. Love the Catch fam. Love you guys, man. Thank you for everything you guys do for the channel. Thank you guys for all the support. Guys, we're approaching week 9. We're going to be halfway through the season. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. At the end of next week, we'll officially be halfway through the season. And that's through week 18. You know, most of you guys are going to finish your fantasy in week 17. So, I mean, we'll make content through week 18, and then we'll roll into the postseason with some special stuff and everything, and playoff challenges and underdog stuff and playoff discussion and Super Bowl discussion. So we'll be good through February on the channel, but it's just crazy. This year is flying by. So, all right. Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the fantasy questions. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Like I said, I will be on between 11:30 a.m. tomorrow to talk some fantasy, get you guys injury updates, weather updates, and to get you guys rosters right. So, Falcons or Jaguars defense, I'll go with the Jaguars, Ghost Hunter. No faith in the Falcons for me. So, all right, guys, hit that like on the way out. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys for everything, man. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hit me up on Discord or Instagram, YouTube comment section if you guys need anything. Starts and sits for quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends are out. Must-start defenses, must-start kickers are out by Steven. If you guys need anything, go check those out. Might give you some further insight. Go drop a comment. Go drop a like. And like I said, hit me up if you guys need anything. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So appreciate you guys, man. Love this community. Love you guys, man. Everyone have a safe night. Everyone enjoy some football tomorrow if I don't talk to you. And good luck if I don't talk to you tomorrow. But I'll be on before kickoff tomorrow. So with that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the